They say that a place left empty for too long will eventually be inhabited by something else, especially if that place has an unfinished story. My name is Lucas. I'm 34 years old. In 2021, I worked as a night security guard for a renovation project at the edge of town, the old tobacco factory, a place that was once the economic lifeblood of this small town. Now it's an empty building where even birds refuse to land. This story isn't meant to scare you. I just want to let you know that there are places where it's better to leave them dead than to be brought back to life. According to local archives I read in the city library, the factory closed abruptly in November 1998. The reason? A massive fire that killed 5 mill workers, but strangely, the cause of the fire was never fully proven. The building didn't burn down, there was no official fire report, and even more bizarrely, the tobacco warehouse remained intact. But the victims' bodies were charred, as if burned from within. My first day back at work, the atmosphere was different. Rusty iron gates, dark rooms with peeling paint, and a heavy air. It was like there was something in the air. I met Mr. Tahir, the project foreman, a middle-aged man who seemed more convinced by myths than by reports. He just said, "If you hear a cough at night, just ignore it. Don't respond to it." I thought he was joking, but his tone was too flat for a joke. That night, I patrolled the area. Equipped with a flashlight and a notebook, there was one place that made the hairs on the back of my neck stand on end: the tobacco warehouse. An old building, padlocked from the outside, and reportedly never opened since the fire. When I passed there, I smelled burning tobacco. It was faint, but distinct. I thought it was just a suggestion. But when I got back to the guard post, I found a cigarette butt, still warm, and I don't smoke. The second night, around 2 in the morning, I heard a sound, a cough, heavy, deep, like the sound of collapsed lungs. I immediately turned on the flashlight and walked toward the warehouse. But no one was there. Everything was empty. What made it even stranger was the footprints. What they led to the warehouse door, which was still locked from the outside. The lock wasn't broken, but it was clear someone had left from inside. I reported it to Mr. Tahir, but he simply said, "It started, huh? Okay. Just hold this reading, don't be afraid." Then he gave me a small plastic bag containing betel leaves and salt. That night, I woke up from a strange dream. I was inside a factory, but everything was still active. Workers were walking fast, machines were humming loudly, and thick smoke filled the room. I coughed so hard that I was short of breath, but the most distinct sound was laughter, soft, but echoing. I woke up with a tightness in my chest. And when I opened my eyes, there was a shadow standing outside the post window, silent. Its eyes glowed faintly red, and that night too, I started to feel strange. My throat felt dry, and every time I breathed, there was the smell of burning wood, but sweet, like old tobacco. The next day I visited Mrs. Eliza, the neighborhood elder near the factory. She was the wife of the night shift foreman in 1998, and her husband was one of the 5 who died. Mrs. Eliza said that her husband and 4 others were tempted to get rich quick. They were taught by an unknown person how to plant intentions through tobacco smoke, a kind of black magic. But it had to be done regularly. They had to be given live smoke from a human body. When one of them stopped that night, they were locked in a room and never left. The fire was visible, but no one could open the door. And when it finally opened, they were burned, but the room hadn't been burned in the slightest. Mr. Tahir himself didn't come that night. He sent a message: "You're strong, Bayou. If you survive tonight, you can earn more than just your salary." I grew increasingly suspicious. Around 2:33 a.m., the warehouse alarm went off by itself. The CCTV went off. The lights went out, and I saw through the window the old dormant chimney emitting smoke, thick black. Then silhouettes of people appeared, standing still, all with cigarette embers burning. I tried to run, but my body was heavy. It felt like I was being held. My breath was tight. My chest was hot. I felt like I was burning from the inside. Then I heard a deep voice call out, "You haven't finished your cigarette yet." I passed out. I woke up in the morning in front of the security post, my clothes smelling of smoke and my pockets full of ash. No one knew why. Mr. Tahir had disappeared. the project was cancelled. The police simply said, "This incident is no longer our jurisdiction." Now, the factory is a notorious haunted spot, but locals know that every Friday Kliwon night, smoke billows from the chimney, and the scent of old tobacco fills the night air. If you smell burning tobacco on a quiet night, don't inhale too deeply, because it might be your breath they're sucking.